morning, everybody. It's Jean here. This is Jean's Block Party 2019, and we are on block number 35 this week. It's a very simple block because I've had, before I show you the block, I've had a bit of a week. Our number 2 son, Justin, they just had their 4th baby on Tuesday, and it was a long, or Tuesday night. It was a very long day they had. His wife Janae, this is their 4th baby, and she has babies very quickly. In fact, her 2nd baby was born in a very, very nice upscale parking lot of a restaurant. They didn't get to the hospital in time. It was funny. And we do midwives and home births and natural. They were going to the birth center because her baby was breech and had been flipping and flipping and flipping. Long story short, they sort of spent an entire day. The staff was wonderful, awesome, trying to flip her baby. And the doctors did it, and then he would flip back, and then the midwives would get the baby in position and then back. So it was a very long, exhausting day for her until finally they got the baby in position, and they sort of bound her until the baby was down, and then she had the baby very quickly. And all was well, completely natural. Very kudos to Einstein Medical Center. Seriously, they were absolutely wonderful, because they're like, baby was not in distress whatsoever, so she could have her natural birth. It was awesome, but he was a little tight swimming around in there. Tristan Alexander Truelove, 6 pounds 11 ounces, 20 inches, just lovely. I'll put some pictures up. Just lovely, but an exhausting day. We have things coming up this week, and I was completely distracted. And what do I say? Step away from your machine. I didn't. I messed this block up 3 times. I was filming it, and I'm not going to show you. I'm just telling you. I'm a loser. I finished it. I changed it. I finished it. So block number 35 is so simple, but your configuration, which I messed up. I messed up three times and had to rip it out. So this is our block. It's simple. I've used my burgundies and my my creams this week to make a very high contrast block. As you can see, you need a very light, a medium, and a dark value of your print of your fabrics this week. Because of my 2 colors, I have a lighter cream, a printed cream, and then the dark burgundy to make this configuration, which you can see me putting it on my design board, and then my mind was not here, and I messed up the center row, and then I sewed it again, and then I messed up a block. So what I've done is for you guys, it's not to scale, but what I've done is I'll actually put a little chart of what goes where, the light, the medium, and the dark, corresponding with this block up here, the light, medium, and dark. And then it's LMD, as you can see. It doesn't take a rocket science to figure this one out. But I will put that because I did it, and then I thought, oh, that's not right. And I went back and I thought, oh, I went back, and I'm thinking, oh my word, I just messed it up so bad. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. I don't know. Doesn't really matter, but this is the way it's supposed to look. And it's most pleasing to the eye this way. So that's block number 35. Strip piecing. No, nothing to match except this is a 9 patch. That one, and that one. It's a simple 9 patch, but it's a little bit of an interesting 9 patch. So you do need 3 high contrast, or 3 light, medium, and dark to get that look. So that's block number 35. I messed it up. I hope you guys don't. Follow your chart, because it was a mess. But we have a busy weekend coming up. I'm filming this on Friday. We're going to be on all day Saturday, and then we have a little baby grandson So lovely. And then in 9 or 10 weeks we have, he's number 14, our 14th grandchild. And then number 15, for our 4th son, Dominic, and his wife Sarah are expecting their 3rd child. That'll be number 15 grandchildren. Oh my, I think, yeah, 15. And yeah, busy, busy, busy. So this is block number 35 of our block party. I do hope you love it. It's very simple. And yeah, I will see you next week. And keep organized. Do not sew when you're tired or have had a 14th grandchild or you're busy because you're going to mess it up. So have a lovely day, folks. See you later. Bye. So block 35 this week, super, super simple block. As I was saying, I'm very, very busy this week. I've had new grandbabies, so I'm just going to put this up very, very quickly, and it's going to be very simple for you, as I'm sure the summer is coming up. You're being very busy also. So what block number 35. We have 3 different fabrics. The most important thing is your value here. I have a very light, a medium, and a dark. That's the most important to get the look of this block really, really good. You're going to be cutting 3 each of 1.5 by 12-inch long strips. So I stacked up my fat quarters and I cut them 1.5 inches wide, and then I cut them to 12 inches long in 3 different piles here. Now it's very, very simple. How we're going to construct this is we are just going to be sewing these strips together. Okay? That's it. You're going to take them over to your machine and you're going to be sewing your strip sets together. Light, medium, and dark. So you have 1 strip set, 2 strip sets, and 3 strip sets. And as you can see, I'm looking at through the viewfinder, this is really what we want. I really have a deep contrast here, and that hopefully at the end of the day is going to make a really nice block that we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this over to my machine, all 3 of these. I'm going to do one at a time. I'm going to put the pretty side to the pretty side. Pin this. You don't want to stretch it. If you want to pin it in a couple places, by all means do that. So you're wanting to put however you want to do it. You can just do a 1/4 inch seam, and then when that's sewn, you put the pretty side over and you sew that. Sewn 2 strip sets together, and I have gone over and I have pressed these. And what I have done is I've spritzed it very carefully, and I have from the outside, I have rolled up the seams to each one going up to the dark. So this seam is going to the dark and this seam is going up to the dark. So this is what my back looks like. My seams are all going one way, all going up to the dark. And these strips should measure 3.5 inches. And I have a board, my thing here. They're exactly 3.5 inches. And this is how I've done it. I didn't have to pin. I put my lightest one here, and then my medium. Now I have cut these perfectly, 1.5 inches by 12 inches long, and I'm using a perfect 1/4 inch seam. Now I'm holding the ends together here. I'm not pinning, and I'm just guiding and flattening, scratching them together, holding the ends, so that they're sewn exactly as they were cut. They're not going to stretch at all. And then I'm not worried about like finger pressing anything right now. I'm just going to lay that like that, and then take my dark and do the exact same thing. Match up the top, 1/4 inch. And I'm going to hold the ends together just as they've been cut, And that way, on shorter lengths like this, you don't really need to pin, because your hand here holding and your hand here scratching them together, making sure your edges are together, can guarantee that your pieces will absolutely match. 1/4 inch seam, and then right off. So here's my unit here. I will set this seam and I will set that seam, but then as I go over to my ironing board, I'm going to spritz this very carefully, very slowly, just with a little bit of water, and then I will be able to nudge this seam here up with the tip of the iron, and I'll be able to nudge that seam up so that all of the seams will be going up towards the dark. So I'm going to do that now. So what I have here are my very nicely pressed, stitched and pressed 3 strip set units. I'm laying them on my board here, and I'm laying them on a line, my bottom line here, my bottom line here, my bottom line here, on my mat, and I know they're lovely and square and straight. I'm just going to neaten up. I'm going to neaten up this edge. Just take that edge right off and neaten this up. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be subcutting. I'm doing 3 at a time because they're very nice and square. I'm going to be subcutting these units here into 3.5 inches. Okay, so there's my 3.5. I was told to hold it up to a piece of paper. So 3.5 inches, all right, on my ruler. Because I know this edge is nice and neat and tidy, this edge here, this one, so I can do all 3 at one time. I'm going to do my two ruler method here. I'm going to hold this ruler here. We have a little bit of fabric left over, a little bit, but that's fine. So we have 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do it 2 more times. Oops, this one shifted. That's okay. I'll put that straight. And I'll go to 3.5. 3.5 here, 3.5 there, and 3.5 there. Double checking, making sure they're nice and square on my lines. And we are creating a simple 9 patch. Told you it was easy, but interesting. So 3.5, is that number? Yeah, 3.5, 3.5, and up here 3.5. Perfect. We have about 1 inch left over. That's it. So here are our units here. 9 of them. What are we doing? We're putting together a 9 patch. But obviously now, let me see if am I in the frame? The configuration. So with the light going up here, so this is our first top row. This is what makes this block interesting. And I'll do it like this. It just adds a lot of movement around our block. With the darks and the lights. Simple 9 patch though. These units are all measuring exactly 3.5 inches. And there we have our block. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew these together. This is what our block will look like when we have our seams done. And there is our lovely block. Oh, I think it's so pretty. So pretty. So again, just have to be careful of your configuration. Maybe you want to stop this video here so you make sure you have your darks where they're supposed to be and your lights where they're supposed to be. And I am just going to sew my top row, middle row, and bottom row together as we've done a million times. I will put this over to here and sew this seam here. I'll do the same here, that way. And I will press the seam where it wants to go. No, actually, I will press the seam. Yeah, I'll press the seam. Most probably this one will go out, this one will go in, and this one will go out. So then when we go to put our 9 patch, we have done so many times, you're going to be nesting these seams here. So I'm going to go do that now. I'm not going to bore you because we have done this very many times. There's our block. I'm now going to go put it together and you'll see the finished block. So, you know me, folks, I'm not one to edit out anything. I've messed this block up 3 times, and I got it so wrong. So what I've done, and I will have shown you this before, I've just made this up. It's not to scale, obviously, but it's this pattern configuration. I am always about configuration, and I messed it up. I have a lot on my mind this week. You must excuse me, as I was saying in the beginning. But this is your grid. What I've done is I've done light, medium, and dark, and then the LMD is dark, medium, light, and that, folks, is what this block ends up looking like. So I'm going to include that. I'll have put that in the tutorial before that, but at the end of the day, oh, it's good because I had to rip this block several times. I had that one wrong. I had the rows wrong. I ripped it out, but it's a little bit, it's a slightly large, so that's wonderful. So I just can I can square it up to my 9.5 inches. Real nice. I love the block. It was really gave me a hard time. That's funny. But yeah, it's pretty. Very simple. Well, very simple. Well, it's very simple, Jean. Why'd you screw it up so bad? Isn't that funny? Configuration. Don't be tired. I'm tired. And I have some other things on my mind with new baby, and I have to go to Maxwell's school and all sorts of things coming up this weekend. So I'm not really concentrating 100%. And there you go. What do I always say? Step out of your sewing room if you're tired. But at the end of the day, that's a little bit short. There's a few straggly threads that I have to cut. But at the end of the day, here is my lovely block. Yeah. And so there you have seen the chart. Hopefully that makes it simpler for you. Obviously, it's the 9 patches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Obviously not to scale. But these will end up 3.5 inches square. 3.5 inches if you sew them and if you cut them according to the directions. So there's our configuration. Looks much better. Looks much better. Very pretty. Yeah, very pretty. So there is my lovely block. Block number 35 gave me a hard time. Not its fault whatsoever. My fault for having a lot on my plate. But I got there in the end. So, hope you love it, folks. Okay, block number 35. We'll see you next week for block number 36. All right, see ya. Bye.